Hello everyone, I have a TV recording there and I have recording here as well. So I'm doing my TV show for Messages from Above and Beyond with Donna Rurak. And today I want to do some little mini meditations, and I found these are pretty helpful. I'm also just going to put a little timer on because I babble and babble and babble. What? I just have a lot of fun lately, and just really finding that my creative outlets I've been really in balance, and I wanted to share some of the ways to balance yourself. And I've been working on a new class, a new course, which is coming in July here. The first one will be in, oh my goodness, July 25th or 26th. I can't remember exactly. It's on that phone. So what I'm going to be doing here is I have some nice music playing in the background. And I'm just going to kind of bring in the different elements. I've been working with magic, and so magic, earth healing, fairies, and all of those kind of the elementals as well. So I'm just bringing in those components to kind of find a little balance as well. Some people want to, and I've done lots and lots of the color chakra balancing, but sometimes we also need like the spirit, like we need that connection on all of the elements. And as I started really working with the fairies, actually, I found that I was really getting more and more in touch with the different aspects of different things in life based on the different elements. So I encourage you to get comfortable, and I'm just going to probably adjust that one a little bit, just so I'm not so far away, I think. Sorry, everyone. You see me here, you see me there. So just bring this a little closer, I think, and set that up. There we go. We can see me a little bit in that picture, and I'm good in this one. Okay, so I want you to get comfortable. I like my feet flat when I'm working with the elements on the floor, and have a nice beautiful wooden floor here in my home. And it's nice to stay grounded and present, but then we're going to allow ourselves to kind of do a little bit of flow. Okay, now very first thing that we're actually going to work on is we are going to actually work with earth. And what earth represents is being present, being here in the now, and experiencing life and not being so worried about what's going in the future or what has in the past. We're really going to just work on right here and right now. And to do that, simple little thing is have your feet just on the floor, nice and solid, and then you can just take a big deep breath in, feel your belly just expand out, and then as you breathe out, let it fall and sink. Big belly breath out, and let that belly sink back down. Just small breath, slow and steady. I want you to be aware of the sensation of your feet on the floor. I want you to feel the energy, like as if your feet are dissolving and smushing out and flowing into the floor. And just allow yourself to just feel those sensations, what thoughts it brings up within you. If it feels uncomfortable, just take note of the bottom of your foot on the floor. I recommend wood, or if you're outside, amazing on the ground itself. Big breath in through the nose, and then just releasing slowly. Feel the tension slipping away as you're just really staying present, feeling those sensations. Now some of you may want to dig a little deeper, and especially if you are outside or on a wooden floor, and as your feet are kind of spreading out, imagine now they're becoming roots, and they're going deep into the earth, and you can almost smell the earth. And you feel solid, you feel at peace. once you feel solid and peace and grounded, I want you just to take note of any kind of sensations with your eyes closed. Maybe you're feeling it come up to your knees now, into your hips. Some people feel like a buzzing sensation or a vibration. And you're earthing, you're grounding right now. You want to bring that all the way up to your diaphragm, right to your solar plexus. Now, if you can't get past your hips and it's stuck, imagine that you have that red ball of light in your personal area. That's your root. And this would be places and things like if you're not financially secure, that you're worried about that. I just want you to pull this energy into that root, that red ball of light, and just realize that at this moment, there's nothing that you need to do about those finances. For the next hour, you don't have to think forward. You don't have to do anything for anyone else. Just sit in that red light, that ball of energy. Now, if you can, that should be able to bring you up a little bit farther. And I want you to imagine in your navel, where your belly button is, that you have this orange energy. And it feels nurturing, it feels loving, and it feels creative. You feel just enlivened, that you would like to do something for others. And in doing for others, that you are able to do for yourself as well. Now you should raise to that solar plexus, their golden, beautiful light. That tingling, being rooted in any of these chakras, these centers, is really important. Feel that rooted energy, that earth energy from the floor, from the ground, coming into your solar plexus, where you have confidence, where you believe in yourself. And you have a knowing, yes, I am worth whatever it is. I have worthiness, I have purpose, and it's right in that solar plexus. Feel that earth energy coming up yet again, but this time into your heart space, into your heart. And this green energy may be muddled, or it may be very distant or closed off for some, as their hearts have been broken, or they don't know how to be loved anymore. They don't know how to love that's right for them. I want you to bring that earth energy into your heart space and feel that connection into your heart. And just know, understand, feel the love. If it's the love of your cat, if it's the love of your dog, if it's the love of your friend, in friendship, kinship, or even just a kind stranger doing something because they care. Feel that reciprocation that they have gifted to you, and pour it back outwards as well. Feel your heart brighten and turn into a beautiful green light, expanding deeply into the universe as that energy comes up from the earth, coming up your legs, now into your throat. And you want to sing, you want to shout, you want to communicate, you want to tell everyone. See it as this beautiful blue energy, but we're pulling it up from the earth, bringing that grounding energy up into our throat. And we can speak out of love, freely and clearly, communicate, and be understood. Next is our third eye. And as we are reaching that energy from the yet again, pulling that up. Feel that tingling, that sensation, this earthing energy coming up to our third eye. And it opens like this beautiful purpley blue, and it's wide. And in wonderment, it is seeing things differently. You are understanding the unknowns, the unpossibles, and making them possible. The I'm possibles. That earthing energy is opening that third eye to stay firmly open and genuinely seeing differently. Understanding new perspectives, dynamics, and paradigm shifts have happened. And this earthing energy now coming all the way to the top of your head, where it opens a bright white purple flower, your crown chakra, and reaching up above that is to Source, God, Goddess, whatever it is for you, opening and blossoming all the way around you. This beautiful halo white light, but feeling it come from the earth all the way up to your crown and out in this beautiful cycle. Feel the spiritual connection. As we work from this earthing energy, the colors of the earth, the browns, the greens, those are ever present as we are opening ourselves to this earthing energy, the earth element, where we are present, where we bring things into our realities, into our perspectives of the now. And as I hear the squirrels chattering in the bush, I'm present that they are forever stalking and hunting things down, making sure that they have extra. In this time now, we have just passed the summer solstice, where we have celebrated the sun god, and being thankful and grateful for the plenitude that we are going to receive. And we can see our harvests. We can see that we have some of those wonderful little things coming to light. And we have understanding that we will have abundance. But we want to stay here in the present, watching those green apples start to turn red, watching those peas form the pods, flowers dropping away. And all of that going through every one of our chakras and having that earth element. Perfect. Now you can stop and you can pause and you can do things from this space anytime today, as I will bring you back down. But we're now going to work on 3 more elements. I want to talk to you about the fire element, and we're going to bring in the fire. And the fire is all about creativity and having, having the abilities and wants to move forward, to create, to be present. And sometimes too, the fire element is a release. So it can be emotional, it can be angers and frustrations can come out of that. Just feel some of those things and where you might be holding them in each of the chakras as we start. So again, I want you to have your eyes closed, and if you can, your feet flat on the ground or on a wooden floor or something of that nature. It can even be just a brown colored piece of rug or mat. But now I want you to feel the fire. I want you to feel the warmth starting at your feet. And even even though the element of fire can be painful, it can be cleansing as well. I want you to imagine, if you will, that you are walking on hot coals and yet you don't feel the burn. I want you to feel the heat and the invigoration to get you moving just a little bit faster across those coals. As they are that red hot, not white hot, but red hot, I want you to perceive that that energy is coming up into your body and flooding you with creative ideas and letting you move forward in life, letting you be prepared and be strong in your energy as you go forward. As it comes up your legs and into your hips and into the red root itself, feel that fire really burning within you. What things would fire your creativity or your successes? Where is it in your life that you need something more? Ideas will pop into that head of yours. What would you like? What wants and desires are lacking? And from this point, we're inviting in any ideas that will bring forth those for you. Feel that fire coming into your navel, into that nurturing center for yourself, that artistic expression, and also the nurturing of your loved ones, of your friends, that you would like to nurture them with. See yourself gifting them fire, creative projects, or being present and nurturing. Even if they just need to talk, you are holding space and nurturing them. In this orange energy, thoughts may come up where you could better yourself so you can better others as well in that nurturing space. Imagine that you are seeing that fire lighting that orange even brighter and moving up into the solar plexus. What areas in your life do you want more confidence in? See that fire bringing forth the energy for you to stand your ground, to have boundaries, or to break through the walls that you've built for yourself. And moving into your heart space, where is it that you could use that fire to light that heart space, to allow yourself to love freely and to have others love you passionately back? If a thought comes in, I'm to this, I'm to that, take note and we can refresh. You can write those down. But in this time, as we ignite those things, if it's a negative quality, see the fire burning it up and dissolving it. If it's a positive thing that you see in your life, in that heart space, then fuel that fire. Pour some gasoline and make it just grow brighter green and bigger and bigger. And into the throat chakra, inviting in that fire element so that we may be able to debate and have our voice heard. Or we may want to burn that out if we've said things that weren't kind. We want to burn that out with the fire and cleanse it, clear it. And you may get an itchy throat. That's good. Burning in that fire element and letting that extinguish so that we can have calm and cool conversation and loving and kind. And into the third eye, what projects, what things could you want to set aflame of your intuitive nature? Would you like to be able to read oracles? Would you like to have more insight? Would you like to be able to trust the thoughts that are coming to you? Fuel that with some fire energy go really, really indigo purple and widen so big. Take note if you were taking to any lifetimes, if you can see anybody around you that may have the same capabilities or the same intuitions that are very, very common in our third eye area. And now into the crown, bursting flames into that white flower and letting it expand all the way around you. Feel that heat bursting through that crown chakra to connect deeply yourself to your spirituality. Again, may it be God or Goddess or Source, Buddha, Allah, whoever it may be. See that bright white energy in your crown, fueled by the flames, and feel it all the way from your feet, all the way up and out and around you in the fire element. Now you may feel impassioned and wanting to get going, and you want to get up and leave because you now have so much energy you can't contain it. But now we're going to cleanse and clear with water element. So starting yet again at our feet, I want you to envision that your feet are in a pool of water, calm and soothing and cool, calming, soothing water. Now if any time you do not like the element of water for fear of drowning or fear of not being able to swim, you only need to bring the energy of the water up and around you, not the actual water. So, again, feel your feet in the water. If it's on the ground, or if it's on your carpet, if it's on your wooden floor. Imagine that you have this water element coming up from the bottoms of your feet and over your toes. You can feel the gentle waves from there, maybe just stopping at your ankles, lapping at you, and that motion will smooth its way all the way through you, calming and clearing. The water element, blues and teals, light blues, it's a release component. Its energy is an emotional release, emotions, to feel them deeper, to be more appreciative of having those emotions and compassions. As you bring that water element up into your legs, feel them relaxing and being soothed of the aches and the uncomforts. As the water is soothing and gently waving through you, feel that energy coming up into your hips and into the personal area, and still seeing that water element wash out your root energy. So not to change the color, but to bring it brighter red, to bring it more cleansing, to make it feel connected into the emotional states. To have an appreciation of what you do have, to be grateful, to have gratitude, to have pure love for things around you that support you in that root energy. And bringing that water into the navel, into your belly button, into that beautiful bright orange, and you may even smell oranges because it's so zestful and just so nurturing to be loved by others and to be able to love others. As you clear with the water element, it cleanses you and it brings you back into that nurturing and loving kindness that you are. into the solar plexus with that water element. And again, not to wash it out or dull it down, but to brighten that yellow even more. And very, very commonly, many will smell yellow lemons. Bright, fresh, and just invigorating energy. And to have the confidence and to feel that you are strong, and no matter, you have that beautiful sunshine in your solar plexus. Feel that water from the tip of your toes coming back up again into your heart. Or maybe it was burning away and we got rid of some negativity. Maybe we had jealousies or angers that were stuck in our heart space. Washing them away until they're beautiful bright green into that heart center. The emotional element here can bring tears. And maybe we have melancholy of what used to be or what could have been, but we're just going to let that flow away in the tide and bring back more healing water energy, water element into our heart space. Big sigh, big yawn, big release. Now bring up that water element all the way into our throats. And again, let things wash through. And realizing that, yes, we did things, we said things, but we did them from a place of where we were before, and not from where we are at this moment or moving forward. There's a saying, I did the best I could until I knew better, and then I did better. Go there. Now as you speak, concise, clear messages of love, of light, and listening with our ears so that our throats are able to communicate what we are hearing and understanding. As we pause and we let others speak, that water element clearing and purifying away anything that is not needed to be mentioned. Is it factual? Is it true? If not, it's not needed. Moving up, bringing that water again from the feet up into your third eye. Washing. Maybe there was tension. Maybe we're trying too hard. We're furrowed brows. Feel the water wash over, soothing. As a fevered child, a cool cloth across the third eye, the brow, to bring down the temperature. The water element does this with our third eye as well. So we may rest, but in rest state we are open to receive the messages. This beautiful cleansing, bringing in that purple energy, purple to indigo, that midnight sky just before we get too dark, and bursting up even farther into our crowns. The petals so pristine white, blooming as our crown is nourished with our spiritual connections. Bringing forth that water once again all the way from the feet and rising up and blossoming out. And the petals, pristine white, fading into glimmers and shimmers and into spirituality as we are connecting so deeply and having faith and having trust and realizing that that emotional level was very, very needed to cleanse and clear and prepare. And remember, whatever your spirituality, whatever your faith, it's right for you. Now, as you work through each of the chakras in all of the elements, there are ones that definitely are of the elements a little bit stronger, as they do represent different elements. but all, and that interconnectedness. And the root, we all know that's very earthly, very grounding. But as we brought all of those elements in, what felt right for you? What felt not right for you? And just be present in any of those sensations. And anything that really kind of came up or was brought to light as my furrowed brow gives me away, just shake it away, shake it off. And now in a beautiful medley of brown into green, and then red into orange and yellow, and see that spiraling into the blue, and then going into the white, bright, bright white into clear and cleansing. All of the elements and being all connected at the same time. Being strong and being helpful, and also being gentle and being needful. As we listen to ourselves and we listen to others, being present for what you can be, and also as with thought or inspiration, those things coming to light, take note of what you would like to do, what you would like to create, what you would like to let go of, what you'd like to invite in. And just sway in the flow of the energies, swirling from the earth into the fire, into the water, into the air. All of those components. And spirituality, the air component, now working from the bottoms of your feet, knowing and trusting that you are present in this world because of the chances of you being created and the wonderment of the right, perfect timing of coming here. That spirituality, whatever it is for you, if it's scientific, then hey, that's perfectly acceptable because that's what you are. Being present in that, from your feet, feeling the lightness of the air, feeling the softness between your feet and the floor that you are on, the air in between, and you can move your feet. You can shift and lift your feet. Feel that air element now coming up your legs and into your hips. And feeling that lightness, that wonderful connection to spirituality or just pure existence of the now, the here, but having that air element into our root and feeling that lighter and more sure of being present. Feel that air element into the navel, into that orange, and feel it lighter, more bounce, more brightness. And moving that air into our solar plexus energy, feeling it brighten even more, and soften and flow into the heart space, lifting out, lifting and reaching, and also projecting out to loved ones. This green glow, disappearing into a mist and moving into the throat, that blue in the sound of song, maybe a melody, maybe just hearing something wonderfully sung by somebody else, maybe even just a hum of the earth, out through your mouth, communicating freely with the air element, doing it from source, God, goddess, in truth, only speaking of love. And when we do have to be factual, making sure we're kind as we are making those facts known and limiting our boundaries sometimes for others, but being strong, blue, air element, kind to yourself. Bring the air element into our third eye and feel it soften, accepting the insights as they come in. That connection to spirituality, ever present as we open up the third eye to the air element, spirituality, source, God, all of the above. And finally, a big sigh from me and a yawn, bringing up the air element once again from the ground and bursting out through that wonderful white crown, the air element, that spirituality, that knowingness, that feeling, that connection. And if you are not a spiritual and you are very scientific, there is still evidence to show that opening up to the element thought brings in clarity, peace of mind, and it solves many of your problems that you were stuck on, balancing the left and the right sides of the brain and accepting in all that is for you. Now take a big breath in, slowly sigh, breath in and breath out. Again, feeling the elements of the earth, the fire, and then water and spirit or air, all in combination through all of your body and up and out and coming back around again. When you feel present, when you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes. I encourage a big stretch. Oh. Maybe your neck needs to be stretched. Mine usually does. And I usually like to take a look around, anything that kind of pops out at me. And as I've been filling the house in wonderful things like plants, and I've been making soap, that's the last episode I had here for Above and Beyond, I've got these fresh smells in my home. I've got beautiful sights. And now that I've gone through all of the elements and a balancing of all of those things, it just feels so much more at peace with what I have present in my life and what I want to go forth and be present with as well. So I'm just going to pause this for 1 second. I'm going to move that camera, the other one there. Sorry, I'm just adjusting this a little bit more. There we go. So now I just was adjusting the camera for the other one. I'm just getting very, very comfortable. Now, I've been doing these meditations and really opening up myself spiritually for quite a while. And so I really have a lot of comfort when I do meditations. And my body does feel relaxed. However, I want you to take note anywhere within your body where you may feel a little stiff or a little tight as we kind of go through some of those elements. And I want you to kind of just journal things down. So I always write things down and just kind of take little notes for myself. And of course, I usually have a couple pens off to one side. I have lots. I draw, I paint. I'm a very artful and creative person. Some people just aren't. Some people, it really takes a large amount of effort to kind of get them into a creative space. So, some things that you can do are when we are in those meditations, very, very commonly, like you can even just pause this. And what I want you to do is just grab a piece of paper and pen and just write down any of the things that kind of came up. Very first thing, when we were doing these meditations, Earth is all about the present time. It's the element of being here now. And so as we're bringing in that earth energy, we can kind of feel a little stuck sometimes in life. We're just not seeing any way around something. We can be too grounded, too focused on being financially secure, too focused on having a lot of things, not accepting that we have so much, but we're not seeing it. So this is another analogy, and because I had made some soaps, and I had a big batch of soaps, and the one just, it didn't work out. It just, was a great big mess. And so then I added water, and I added too much of that emotional component to it, and it was just a mess, a soupy mess. So I had to heat it up. And so here's your fire element, here's your creativity. And then I had to let it air out, which is your air element. I used all of the elements, and now I have a nice batch of soap. Yes, it's quite an interesting way to look at life, but I wasn't worried about the product. I wasn't worried and too disappointed anymore. It was a process, and I was accepting it as I went along. And I kind of laugh because not that long ago, I would have been so hard on myself. I would have been so angry that the directions that this person had given me hadn't qualified or hadn't given me the exact amount of water, hadn't told me exactly what I should be doing. It's all a matter of what effort you're putting in and where you're holding your energy, and just kind of go with the flow. And that's the now, going back in that full circle, that full cycle. And honestly, when we are doing more grounding things, we are right now, because we're in the time here, we're in June, end of June into July, and we are at that full strength here in North America of our beautiful sun. So we've had some days where it is like 30, 35, and I mean, we could be getting even warmer because there's tons and tons of heat. The humidity really is playing a big part. We finally got some rain. So I laugh and I think about it because lots of people say, well, there's not enough rain, there's too much rain. No one's ever going to be happy because someone else has someone else's opinion or this kind of thing. So just go with what works with you. Right now, I had some plants and they weren't looking so good. They got a little dried out. I got forgetful and I forgot about them. And then we got that high heat. And so when I did water them, they were very humid. But boy, did they love them. Tropical hibiscus flowers. It was like I was back in Florida. I had one that was bigger than the size of my hand blossom for me the other day. So just allowing yourself forgiveness. And I mean, plants can be pretty forgiving. If you go for 3 weeks without watering them in this heat, they're not going to like it, of course. But being calm, being gentle in the processes of those things. If you're not a gardener, you don't, you don't have to be. You don't have to be like doing everything that everyone else is doing. Pick and choose what works best for you. Now, of course, I like growing my own plants and having flowers in the home, and I love what it brings in, the element of nature. Honestly, I feel grounded, I feel comfortable, I feel at home when I have plants around me. And that's because as a small girl, I had them all the way around me. I grew up in rural Saskatchewan, outside of Prince Albert. It was beautiful. It's just really, really pretty. I mean, we were in subdivisions, but I mean, very close enough neighbors, but not that close. So we had the space, but we could wander. Not even, 5 minutes down the road, we were in wilderness. So, embracing those different things in your life might change some perspectives that you may be stuck on. And just kind of write down those things. Like, what are your values, your solid foundation kind of things? Maybe you have been shaken or taken out from under you, and you're just finding your own groundwork again. Maybe that's what's going on. Just write down some of those things for you. And bring in that earth or that present grounding energy into all the different chakras of yourself and what those kind of things represent. And I think from this meditation, you will have found root, the grounding, that red ball of light, how we feel about money, how we feel about being present. That's the main focus, right? Earth energy. And then as we go into the navel, that's about how we feel about being nurtured or how to nurture other people, our artistic expression, drawing, painting, even creative writing comes from this area as well. Now we're going to talk about the earth element into the solar plexus, and about how if we're not grounded enough, if we have too many airy, lofty ideas, we may not feel very strong and confident in what we do bring to the table. I went through a large area of time of my life where I really had these wonderful thoughts and these connections to angels, but what do I do with it? What is all about this? Like, when I hear spirit talking to me and someone tells me of their loved one, and me having this, well, they came to me in a dream 3 weeks ago. Why didn't I clarify? Why didn't I have the confidence? I had to build that, and with time it comes. And with people out there like myself and many others in this area and in the world now, it's very easy to find someone that you can actually apprentice under, or to ask, or to even take their classes. And especially now, we can do a lot of online things, and we can ask questions or email or send messages. It's pretty quick. I was just amazed that my connections, I knew that there was some way, there was something to open up my business internationally, and how easy it was. It's through Messenger, or it's through FaceTime. As long as you're going off your Wi-Fi, and as long as you have your Wi-Fi covered, then you can make your phone calls. Just interesting things. What holds us back, or where our confidence has been holding us back. My world has opened up in so many different ways. I talked with a session I had, actually I did a reading for a man in New York City. I had previously done one just outside of Edmonton. And so, all of these things, and face to face, I could see these people. I can talk with people all over the world now. So it's just amazing what our technology can bring to us, and when we have the confidence in that. Always check, double check everything if that's your thing. Mine was because I had been misguided one time, and I had a very large outstanding long distance phone bill based on, the connection that I had made with someone, and I ended up paying the bill. So it was all fear-based, and I had that stuck in my solar plexus. That grounding energy, when we bring the grounding energy into our solar plexus, it will solidify our confidence as well. So the different elements going forth, again, the heart center, love, compassion, and being loved as well, accepting love in the throat, communicating freely, but also making sure that we're holding up our boundaries and saying no when we have to say no. Very important, but also saying yes instead of locking the doors on everything too. The third eye, opening up to our intuitions. When we bring in that grounding energy, it solidifies. It helps us be present as we are experiencing those insights or those clairs coming to light. It's important that we learn how to work with all the elements in those. And of course the crown, where we are connecting in the now and being present as we are making a spiritual connection. So as we are working with God or Source or whoever it is for your belief system, if you have one, if you are just an absolute scientific person, but being present and realizing the wonderment and how amazing it is that this cell and this cell produced this, be that way. That is amazing, and that is what you are. And so it is just really important that we bring these elements in. As the fire taught you to be really resourceful and really rebirthing and burning up what isn't needed. So it's very, very fun. Reds, oranges, and yellows in that energy. As you bring it through, then really amplify the actual colors of the chakras as well. The water, cleansing, emotional release. And so working on that, letting things go. We are so typical in our society that we have to be this way, and that is all we are going to be. And then this person's out here learning, exploring, coming back, going in and coming back, expanding out, growing. We need to have that release. We need to have that recreation time. And of course, water helps us grow. Water is a very key component in the human being. We are a large portion of water, so be in that water. And really, when you do have fears of water, when you have had problems with water, you drown or you just don't like water, taking into note some of that emotional component. What happened? What is it that you need to release? What do you need to let go of? I laugh and giggle because the frozen, let it go. And, basically it's frozen water. So she froze things. And, but then she finally was just exploring and just bursting forward. So that is a big thing with water too. A little bit of a trickle, a little drop here and there, we can kind of contain that or control it. But when the dams break, when we've held back the emotional stuff, it's a flood. And let go, let it flow, and so that we can have that natural, precipitation, where it kind of gathers, it's nice and hot, it expands, it disappears, goes into the environment. Wait a minute, then the clouds get heavy and thick, colder weather, boof, it all comes pouring down. Let it happen. That's that cleansing, that purification. And the air, the spiritual connection. Again, some people don't have the same thought processes, or we don't have that connections. Whatever your connections are for you is very important. In this time, we are still fighting. We still have our own belief systems. We have our own opinions. And it's been never more apparent than when I took myself off of social media for a while. And then it's back to the recycled and regurgitation. And I just keep on saying, it's like they just keep on regurgitating, and it's stuck in the throat and they keep swallowing it down. And then they throw it up a little and it doesn't taste good. It doesn't look good. And when you're putting things on social media or you're posting things, of course, I was doing it from where I felt that it was my standpoint, my stuff, and that's okay. That's no problem. But just taking note to look around you and look at your surroundings. If you can think of one positive thing to post, or one positive thing to just even think about, you don't have to be on social media all the time. You could just be doing things outside of social media now. So it's great. It's a tool. It's a way for you to communicate with each other. It's free. It's out there, and just, exploring all those different things. Working on yourself. Work on your connections, your spirituality, working on your wholeness, and see where you sit with all of that media hype and blah, blah, blah. And yes, there is truth in the media, but some of it is so out there and so crazy. And like watching people post things on there is just like, no, that's not for me to watch anymore. And I have the choice. I get to participate or I get to not participate. Free will and free choice. Thank you everyone for watching this show. I've never been more humbled than to have people actually text message me because they have my contact information of 306-620-2348, and they were wondering where I was because I wasn't posting, and they were like, hey, checking in on you, and by the way, you're very inspirational, and I'm grateful that I have that inspiration, but now go forth and be the inspiration yourself. And this time, COVID-19 has really taught me quite a few things. I've gotten really thrifty, and I also noticed what I didn't need and what I did need. And, my basic needs, some of them weren't being met on some levels. And so then expanding and finding out how to find those for myself was very, very important. And then, of course, teaching some of that stuff. And the elementals, the fairies, the mermaids, the fire sirens. Oh my goodness, the wonderful work that I've been doing on a magical level, and I'm so excited to share that with everyone. And of course, different components about magical practices, and some of that works onto theology of the belief system there, but also you don't have to participate. Many of us don't even realize that we actually have been doing old practices or old magical ways, I say. And so before company comes, we usually, if the silverware gets dropped, we're getting a lot of company. And it's an old wives' tale or a superstition. but those are based on magic. And so we're listening to the signs that, oh, the silverware spilled out, and wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden you have more company coming. It's a fun little thing. And connecting with elementals, the spiritual levels, it is just phenomenal. So I invite you to check out some of the things that are happening. Of course, I do teach the Reiki classes. I'm still teaching all of the intuitive classes, and I definitely will be doing meditation days again, and those will be starting up. I'm looking at September for starting that up again. And I would like to see more of an online presence in the next little while, so I'm getting myself there. And I'm really excited because there's things, and I will be doing Zoom, and also to just doing the YouTube channel. I'm really, really grateful that I have that outlet as well as Access Television. I am so honored and so grateful that I have been doing this for quite a few years now, and I can't believe how much I've grown. And of course, all the fun things I want to teach you. My last episode was about soap making, and I gave you some basics and things like that. I'm not going to teach you how to do the soap making, but if you want to encourage yourself to look at that, or to buy natural soaps, or to buy homemade, locally made, is really amazing. And of course, you're supporting people like myself, you're supporting businesses like ourselves, instead of the big multi-chains that are a lot of chemicals and a lot of dyes and a lot of things that aren't good for us, a lot of fragrances, and that really do cause a lot of health issues in the long term. Now, there's debate on some things, like a little bit of aspartame, but over time the body doesn't know how to get rid of it, so it just stores it and it can create problems within the body. Lots of people will say, well, it's not like you're having it every day. Like you like Big Macs, Donna, but you don't have them every day. Truth. So being gentle with yourself, being forgiving of yourself as you do some of those things as well. So my goodness, I have been chatting up a storm, but I do want to just encourage you to check me out on Access Television here, and however format that you have been watching me, awesome. But also too, I'm on Facebook under Above and Beyond / Donna Rurak, the Precious Therapies page, and then of course Donna Rurak. You can follow me, but primarily I'm using Facebook, social media, Instagram now as more of the business tool. So more of my personal things. I just usually do have very positive things posted out there, and I'm not really tagging anyone. I'm just kind of doing things on my own, and really just kind of really exploring so much. I've been having a blast with the elementals, and I am looking forward to teaching this course in class. I'm really actually excited. So look forward to seeing any of you out there. Maximum of 6 students for the classes, but most of my classes are only 3 students. Now, because of the COVID-19, and we do not have any kind of inoculations, we don't have anything that can actually prevent us from being very, very sick on it. Practice safe distancing, practice those things. And now that we are opening back up to a little closer circle, I supply the gloves and I supply the masks when we do teach classes like Reiki, where there's hands above or really close in the proximity, as is sanctioned by Health Canada. So of course I'm providing those at my cost, which makes it just, that's what I'm just doing. And I do have a local lady that uses all of recycled, as far as I understand, some recycled, very, very thrifty. She's amazing. That's Sylvia Hennifer, and I follow her on Instagram as Recycled Tidbits, I believe it is. So check her out, and of course she's teaching all kinds of things on there, some amazing gardening stuff, and we're living more naturally, and that's a huge thing that COVID taught us, that yes, we have these precautions and we have to be careful, but wash your hands, safe distancing, make sure if you are ill or you're not feeling well that you are taking precautions. One of the biggest things that used to be a pet peeve of mine was when I worked in a regular workforce and we had to go to work even if we had a cold or if we had a fever, and we were going to work and we were really just forcing ourselves to go to these places and doing those things. Well, I'm really grateful now that when we are a little bit ill and we are a little bit not well, that we actually are taking into account that, you know what, that money dollar, that value of going into an 8-hour shift is not held in such high esteem anymore. That when we're actually taking care of ourselves, we're actually doing mindful practices, those are being more accountable in our lives. So thank you everyone for watching Above and Beyond with Donna Rurak, messages from Above and Beyond with Donna Rurak. And again, you can contact me for any classes, any sessions, and any information you just want to chat about. You can contact me any of those formats, and I look forward to talking to you. Thank you so much. May your week just be filled with joy and light, and thank you so much. Love and light. Bye-bye. Thank you.